Hello, dear friends, with you Naya. Today I'm going to review a rather old but noteworthy mod, especially since it was made available for the 12th version relatively recently. The mod is called Hangry Animals or Hungry Animals. But before I start telling you about the mod, I want to thank Leon Play for reposting my contact videos, Drakianos for the parkour and maze maps that I tried to pass on past streams, and Crazy Chester for his support. Guys, let's all go to his channel and support him with views. And also I want to advise you to go to the channel of my friend Jade Manera, who makes quite original videos on modeling from plasticine. I will leave links to both channels in the description of the video. And now back to our hungry animals. By installing this modification, you will completely change the behavior of almost all animals in Minecraft. Exceptions are, perhaps, only parrots and octopuses. However, these changes are true only for vanilla animals from other mods, and these changes do not apply. The mod does not affect the appearance of animals in any way, but believe me, you will not be disappointed, because the behavior of animals has become truly realistic. Now the animals have become wild. They run away from you, and they run very fast, so it won't be so easy to catch them. But the mod adds a few tools to make hunting easier. First of all, it's a bolo and a trap. There is also a slingshot, but its usefulness is relative. Their crafting is quite simple, but first you have to get the tendons somewhere. Perhaps you will find a sheep bullied by a wolf, for example, or some animal will die of diseases itself. The second option is to set a trap. Her craft is also not complicated. You need to dig a hole 2 blocks deep, preferably wider, cover it with a trap, and wait until someone falls through, or drive him there. Now that we have the tendon, we can craft a bolo, and hunting will be much easier. With the right mouse button, we spin the bolo. The faster it turns, the further it will fly. The bolo hits the target and slows the animal down a lot, but the bolo itself will disappear. So before you go hunting with ball, craft at least a few of them. The bolo will disappear even if you don't hit the target. Animals can still be lassoed on vanilla ropes, however, after catching an animal, it's too early to rejoice. You still have to tame it. I must say right away that detour and domestication are two different things, and now I'm going to show you this clearly. Let's try to ride a wild horse. As you can see, the horses run away quickly. I managed to jump on someone and sit for a while. Horses are driven around in the same way as in vanilla. But at the same time, untamed horses remain wild. If I get off the horse now, he will not wander peacefully nearby, but will immediately run away. Tamed animals do not run away from the player. There are 3 stages in the process of domestication, and the first stage is when the animal is wild. It runs away from you and feeds on its own, but it does not take the food thrown by you, and even more so, it will not take the food out of your hands. The second stage is that the animal is neutral to you. It eats food thrown on the ground. It does not run away from a person, but it does not eat from the feeder. The third stage is a tame animal. It eats from the feeder and from the hands. These green circles above the animals mean that they are tamed and feel good. In nature, animals are always wild. In order to start taming, you need to drive the animal into a pen and wait a little while until it gets hungry. This is where there is a difference in taming. Animals, such as horses, cows, sheep and llamas can eat blocks of hay. All the other blocks of hay do not eat, and you will have to wait until they get a little hungry, throw them food, and move away to the side. Feeding facilitates the process of domestication. However, the larger the animal, the longer it takes to tame. Chickens, rabbits, you will tame very quickly, but cows will be tamed for many days. You can go about your business at this time, but it is advisable to be somewhere close to the animals. And most importantly, do not forget to feed them and remove manure. Otherwise, they may die. If the animals are fed, then regardless of whether they are tamed or not, they will reproduce on their own. Food is very important for our animals. In the wild, animals look for their own food. Some animals forage from blocks of grass, but predators hunt herbivores. The grass grows back itself after some time, but if for some reason it is not there, then herbivores can die of starvation. Accordingly, predators will also suffer. It is very expensive to feed animals at home. Before you get animals, you should stock up on a very large supply of food, and think carefully before allowing them to multiply uncontrollably. Feeding tamed animals will make it easier for you with a feeder. You only need to periodically throw food there. The craft of the feeder is like this. You need to use composite wood, which is made from logs of any wood, and glue. You can get glue by throwing skin, tendons, or bones into a pot of water. This is done with the right mouse button. In addition to feeding, animals require other care. From them now there is manure that needs to be cleaned, otherwise the animals will get sick. Animal care is facilitated by special bedding. In particular, manure disappears faster on this litter. Young animals grow faster on deciduous litter, and animals multiply more actively on woolen litter. In addition to hunger and disease, animals can die simply from old age. The animals now have different weights. The food they eat gradually turns into body weight. The heavier the animal, the more products it produces, and starving animals lose weight. In addition to the usual meat and skin, we now get tendons and manure from animals. Tendons, among other things, can be used for crafting ropes, and manure can be piled up, dried, and fertilized. Note that these fertilizers are obtained from dried, lighter pieces of poop. Fertilizers are converted into 2 units of bone meal. Right now, the harm of manure is very clearly visible. Do you see these lilac circles above the animals? This means that they are sick, and they got sick from the fact that the manure storage is too close to the animals. So when you plan your manure storage, make sure that it is located at a sufficient distance from the animals. In the original hangry animals in survival mode, it is impossible to see the characteristics of animals, and you will have to navigate by their behavior. In creative mode, there is such a tool as a magnifying glass. By looking at the animal through it, you will be able to accurately determine its indicators. The first line of tags denote the goal. This is the number of the mob. The next line of veet is the weight of the animal. Then there is the machine. It is eaten and digested food, that is, the degree of hunger of the animal. If these indicators reach 0, the animals begin to lose weight. This is the excretion or accumulation of poop in the body. When the indicator reaches 1, the animal produces 1 poop, and the indicator is reset to 0. The next line is taming, one of the most important for us because it is a scale of domestication. Initially, a wild animal has a tame score of -2. When it reaches -1, the animal becomes neutral. When the value exceeds 1, the animal is tamed. The last indicator is the age of the animal. The cubs have negative indicators. When the indicator reaches 0, the cub becomes an adult. There are 2 additions for the hangry animals mod. One of them is a trial, which gives us the opportunity to see the main stats of animals without creativity. The second hangry mechanics adds some mechanisms. If you want to learn more about these additions, write in the comments. I will take a separate review on them. I hope you liked my review, and you will add the Hang Animals mod to your builds. Well, for today, everyone, dear friends, like, subscribe to my channel, write your reviews, and see you soon. Bye-bye.